Hello and welcome to my porch. My name is Roy. I am a home cook and amateur baker, and I am here on this channel typically sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. But today is Tag Tuesday, and I have been tagged by Kim from A Girl and Her Phone to answer 10 have you ever questions, which came from Sandy and Jimmy over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy. And I looked over the questions, full disclosure, and I have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of them came from Jimmy. I could be wrong. Maybe Sandy has a side that I haven't seen yet, but a lot of them seem to come from Jimmy. I could be wrong, could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. It'll probably turn out that she did most of them. That's my luck. So anyway, I am back out on the porch for what seems like forever. The last tag I had to do inside because we had some thunderstorms, and then I hadn't been tagged for a while because the tags have been a little slow for the past few weeks, which is fine. It gave me time to catch up on some other things. But now the tags are back, and I am here to answer the burning questions. So, have you ever tagged? Number 1, played hooky from school or work. I will admit that I was in school basically a goody two-shoes. I loved school, I loved learning. I didn't get along that well with a lot of people because I was very shy and kept to myself, so I would get picked on. But still, I never played hooky until my senior year. And that was the first time that I ever did. Now, work, on the other hand, I sadly have to admit, a number of times I have played hooky, called out sick when I just didn't feel like going in. So I'd have to say yes to both, although school was pretty much one time in senior year. Let's see, climbed out a window. Yes, I have climbed out a window. I remember it was when I was a kid, and I had done something that I knew I was going to get into trouble for, and I don't remember what it was. And before I could fix it, I heard my mother coming in the house. So for some reason, I thought climbing out the window would exonerate me of any guilt. But I was actually caught while climbing out the window. So it didn't really save me anything. But I did climb out a window. Believe something was haunted. I do believe in the spirit world and things like that. I have had experiences. The one that comes to mind most readily is a friend of mine, Nancy, who I called Cena, short for Nancina. She lived in an old farmhouse that she had told me was haunted, and when I got there, I kind of believed it. Not scary haunted, just haunted by a presence. So everyone had gone to bed, and I was staying up watching TV, and suddenly I felt like someone was staring at me, watching me, and I turned, and there was a little old lady standing in the doorway just watching me. And I was like, okay, this must be the ghost that I was told about, and she was gone when I looked back. And so the next morning I told my friend Cena that I had seen something, and she said, oh, was it the old lady? So I do believe things are haunted. Let's see, have you ever pulled an all-nighter? I have. I went through a delayed adolescence, shall we say. It wasn't until I was in the low 20s, like 21, 22, and started hanging around with kids that I was working with at the supermarket that I worked at, and got into the teenage stuff. During my teenage years, I was quiet, shy, kept to myself, reading books in my bedroom. So I never really went through that phase until I was older. And that was when I pulled my all-nighters. We would go out, we would hang out, goofing off, having parties and whatnot, and I would pull all-nighters. So in my lower 20s, I did. Not often, but often enough that I can say I pulled all-nighters. Threw a drink at someone. I did. I remember I was in a bar, a straight bar, and someone had made the comment of, why do they let people like him in here? Kind of irritated me a bit, and so it just reflex threw a drink. It started a bit of a fight, so I can actually add barroom fight into that as well, but I wouldn't recommend it. Definitely wouldn't recommend it. Fart in front of your significant other. I was always petrified of doing that. And for years, I mean, probably 16, 18 years, I would not do it at all if I could help it. I mean, sometimes you just can't help it. But for 16 or 18 years, I was mortified that it would happen, so I would never allow it. But as I've gotten older, I've discovered it's not always in your control anymore. So yes, I have unintentionally. I would never do it purposely. Those people who purposely think it's funny to, no, that's not me. But I have inadvertently done so. Still mortifies me, but I know it's nothing I can do about it some of the time, so I'm not going to let it worry me. And Paul and I have been together for 22 years. I think we can relax a few of those earlier rules. Let's see, cheated in a board game. I don't believe I've ever cheated in a board game because I always preferred winning my own way. Or winning in the actual way, not by cheating. But I do think, I don't recall specifically, but I do think when I would play with like my nieces or nephews, a game that was going on for too long, I may have cheated a little bit just to wrap it up. I'm not positive, but I could definitely see myself doing that. So I would say that's a maybe. Probably not in an actual board game. Well, I mean, I was actually playing with the kids, but not in a game where I was fully invested in playing the game. More like one that I wanted to hurry up and end, I guess. Met a celebrity. I have met celebrities. The main one, well, no, there are two. No, there were a few. I'm a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, so I have gone to some of the shows that they do, and I've met a lot of the queens. I have some pictures. I will insert those here. So I've met a lot of my favorite drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, in particular Trixie Mattel and Katya, and also Jujubee is one of Paul and my favorites. Met her. Have I ever met any non-drag celebrities? Well, I did walk by I think it's John Oates from Hall & Oates when I was living in New York. And he was incredibly shorter than I thought he was. I didn't meet him, but I saw him. And I was shocked at how short he actually was. Daryl Hall, who is the other one, is much taller, and he must have been standing on something when they performed. I don't know. But he was far shorter than I thought he was, and didn't meet him, but so I'll stick with my drag queens. Love me a drag queen. Let's see, number 9, fallen asleep in class. I don't believe I've ever fallen asleep necessarily. Falling asleep I would take as being like you were out. I have drifted off where I was sitting there and getting dozy and then caught myself and forced myself awake. So I don't think I ever fully fell asleep, but I have drifted off in class. And number 10, told your parents you were staying at a friend's house but went somewhere else. This is, I think, the only one. Let's see. Yeah, this is the only one I can actually say no to. I have never said I was going to a friend's house and went somewhere else instead. Like I said, in my teen years, I was shy, quiet, kept myself, very introverted. And so I never really had that happen where I was on an occasion to go out and do something else. Even in my senior year, when I finally started coming out of my shell, because in my senior year, I had lost a lot of weight. So I have had weight issues since I was a teenager. So I'd lost a lot of weight in my senior year and started getting a little more outgoing. Not a lot, just with a few close friends, but even then I never said I was going to a friend's house and then went somewhere else. My parents, well, mostly my mother, because my parents were divorced by then. My mother always knew where I was, and she was usually okay with it. She didn't mind, so I never had to do that. So you got one no out of me. So there you go, Sandy and Jimmy. And Sandy, tell me if most of these were Jimmy's. I seem to think they are, but I could be wrong, like I said. And thank you to Kim from A Girl and Her Phone for tagging me. And I am going to tag, once again, Embracing Chaos with Jenn. Jenn and Steve, you are tagged, Mr. and Mrs. Chaos. So it is your turn to answer these questions. And I will also leave the questions down below, and you can comment in the comment section what your responses to some of these questions are. I'd be curious to know. Am I the only one who had one no in the whole bunch? I might be. Anyway, that does it for this Tag Tuesday. Follow me on Instagram if you would like to. Also on the 2 Facebook groups that I am a part of. The first one is my singular one, Recipes with Roy. And the other one, I am a co-admin on with Jennifer Lynn from the Jennifer Lynn channel, as well as Bree Coleman from Balancing Life with Bree. We are the co-admins of Finding Our Way, and I will leave the icon down here so you know you've gone to the right place. So follow us over there, join the groups. It's a great bunch of people sharing all sorts of tricks, tips, meals, etc. So I hope you will give this video a like. I hope you will subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also hit the notification bell for the next time I upload a video. I am doing a video for having reached 1,000 subscribers, and I asked for questions for that. I think that will probably come out after this video does, but I'm not positive. So either way, look for that video and get the notifications by hitting the notification bell. And also, like I said, comment below some of your responses to these questions. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And until next time, bye.